Hello, you know about LLMs, AI? No? Well, I'm sure you know about this. This is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an LLM, a large language model. You have a conversation with it using a prompt, and then you arrange your conversations here on the left. You may have or may not have the option to switch models. But that's about it. Everything is in the cloud. You don't have control about it, okay? And you pay for it. Well, today I'm going to tell you about local LLMs. Ollama. Ollama is a tool, let me show you. Ollama is a tool that allows you to run LLMs locally instead of using cloud services. In simple terms, Ollama brings public AI models like DeepSeek, yes, DeepSeek is open source, or Gemma or Mistral directly to your machine. This means that your prompts, your data, they never leave your computer. Unless you want that to happen, okay? But this privacy is important because it gives you independence. It gives you a safe space for experimentation. Also, it is free. The key idea is that Ollama is just a model manager. It downloads, it runs, and controls your AI models with a simple interface. But that's it. Ollama is not AI. Ollama is just the manager. Another key idea is that Ollama is designed for power users like you, also for developers, but without the complexity of AI frameworks. You don't need to know anything about Python or virtual environments to get started with Ollama. Installing Ollama is very simple. You just download it for your operating system, run it, and that's it. Once it is installed, Ollama runs as a background service in the system tray right here at the bottom right of your Windows taskbar. This means that the system is ready to run models at any time, even before you open the terminal. Okay, now I am connected to an Ollama server using the terminal. You can use the CMD in your machine if you want. So, as long as Ollama is running, you can type commands such as Ollama ls, and it will show you the list of installed models. You can find more on the website. Okay, for example, Quen, it's a nice model. And you just have to type Ollama run and the name of the model. But I have some of them installed here. So if I just type Ollama run, it will download it, and if it is downloaded, it will start a new conversation. Hi, you can see the thinking in gray, hey, and the answer here in black. Okay. English, please. Okay, now he has switched to English. Okay, so more commands. If I type bye /bye, I leave the conversation. Okay, let me see the list again. I'm going to delete something here. Okay, I'm going to delete this, for example, with RM. Okay, you can delete models with Ollama, RM, and the name of the model. Boom. Deleted. So the command line interface is deliberately minimal. There is no persistent chat history. You cannot come back to your conversations. There is no internet access. You cannot ask the models to do a web search. And there are not file uploads, no attachments, no anything. If you want those features, you need to use the GUI, the graphical user interface. As you see, if I download it, the download happens, well, stop. I don't want 8 gigabytes to be downloaded now. Okay, so if you download a model, the download happens once, just once. and the thinking happens locally using the power of your computer. If you have a powerful graphics card, Ollama will automatically use it, instead of trying to use the processor for something it was not designed for, okay? A CPU is simply not designed for parallel tasks. Well, if you want more features, use the GUI. So let's have a look at on the server side, let's have a look at the Ollama application. So this is a very familiar application for you, okay? It has, just like ChatGPT, it has on the left, you have your conversation history, your settings, not many settings, and on the right you have your prompt, okay? Hi, tell me about the Martians. But here you can pick and choose between many models, okay? And you can change models during the same conversation. So, for example, if I want to use Quen, I just type QW, okay, here it is Quen. This is the one I have installed. And Quen has some nice features. Just like DeepSeek, Quen has deep thinking, but it also has this feature, web search. If you enable it, you can ask it to perform web searches for you. Okay, so use it like a Google with more power. Okay, tell me about recent novels 2026 about the Martians. I'm going to monitor the activity with the task manager. Okay, you see performance metrics. Okay, let's have a look at the GPU metrics. Ollama has hardware acceleration. So if you have a dedicated GPU, the GPU will offload the processor and it will be more efficient. Okay, GPU usage can be checked here in Windows, and it is very it's very important for AI. Okay, large models without GPU accelerations are possible, but much slower. So let's monitor the GPU with this question, and you will see that this graph is going up again. Dedicated GPU memory is filling up, 3D is going up and down as the model gives me, oh, no, he didn't look it up. Look it up. Thinking, searching, okay? So now he did a web search, and now he's giving me, well, updated answers, okay? So, okay. Oh, this book has not been released yet. I hope this is not a lie. Well, the app is quite nice, but you won't be able to use it on your mobile phone, or your tablet, on any computer which is not this, just the computer with the model and the GPU. But with OpenWeb UI, you can make Ollama available all through the network. Before taking this to the network part, I'm going to go deeper about some features. First of all, the different models available. When you first start with Ollama, you don't know anything about models, you have a big library about them. Well, many may be familiar to you, but let me show you some of them, okay? Sorry, okay. So first, Llama by Meta is very popular, general purpose. Mistral is a French model, very fast and efficient, good for smaller computers and Raspberry Pis. DeepSeek is very popular, but it lacks web search, no web search for DeepSeek. Gemma is like Gemini, but smaller, by Google. It is compact and very good. And lastly, oh, I messed up this. Quen by Alibaba is very good. It has web search, very powerful, multilingual, and very good, okay? Although these models are public, running them locally changes totally the experience, okay? No rate limits, no data sharing, and full control. Some models are optimized for what is often called deep syncing. You have seen it before with Qwen and DeepSeek. They don't spit an answer right away. They are conscious or smarter, but well, they are not conscious or smarter. Listen, they are trained to produce longer internal reasoning before giving you the answer. They take more time per response. They generate more intermediate steps to reach an appropriate answer, and they perform better on logic, maths, and planning things. The trade-off is speed. They are slower, and they spend more electricity. Another feature that you have seen here with Quen is internet search. By default, these models are fully offline. They do not browse the internet, but if you give them that ability, they fetch the data, they inject it into the model, and the model grows with that information that just got from the internet. Okay. Well, you have seen some numbers here. When I choose a model, let me show you here. When I choose a model, you have here a B, which means billions of parameters. The more parameters, the slower the model is. So parameters are internal numerical values that the model learns during the training, okay, before releasing to the public. Think of parameters as coefficients in a gigantic mathematical function. 7b being 7 billion learned parameters. You may have also heard about tokens. You see it? Tell me something. You can see it here. Okay, tokens are each unit. So a word can be a token or a part of a word or a punctuation sign. So the speed of the model, of the computer, sorry, is measured in tokens per second. Okay, it means the output that the GPU and computer memory can give you. Okay. So why different numbers of billions? Because models are distilled. A large model is used to learn to train a smaller model, and that is called a distilled model. Okay. The smaller models are distilled versions of the bigger ones. Okay. And last but not least, network access. Okay, I have the network server right behind me. Okay, it is that white computer, and you can see the desktop right here. Okay, this is my Windows desktop with the Ollama app and the service running. And here I have a Mac OS desktop, my main computer. So how do I use my Ollama application from this computer or from any other device in the network? Well, you have to use Docker. Yes, it's everywhere nowadays. And Docker has a container or virtual machine that, what is it? Docker desktop. Okay, open. It won't open. Well, Docker has, here it is. Docker has a container that it is called Open Web UI that allows you to access the Ollama server. So from this computer, I can connect to this computer. Watch this. This looks like a native app, but it is a web application, just a web page, okay, that connects to the Ollama server and gives you the same options that you have seen before. Hi. You can switch models here. You also have deep thinking, you have web search, you have everything. Okay, it is a little bit slower, but it works in any device of the network. If you set up a VPN, you can also enable internet access for you. So that's it. You can have a public AI server on the network for free. Well, you have to pay the electricity, but almost free.